Morning everyone, and welcome back to the Runpreneur vlog, where we discuss all things entrepreneurship and running. It is a super fresh morning today. It's feels like -1 degrees, so it's pretty fresh but not too breezy, so not too bad wintry running conditions. And it's Monday motivation today, where we talk all things productivity, motivation, things that kind of kickstart your productivity levels, which are super important if you want to progress in your work and in your life. And today's topic is how to use caffeine as a productivity tool. So as always, if you like this episode, please give it a like and a subscribe, and let's get started. So, caffeine as a productivity tool. Okay, so this is an important one. Now, first and foremost, I think you need to understand the limitations of caffeine and understand a little bit more about the science behind it. Now, firstly, caffeine's a drug. People often, similar to alcohol, similar to, other, it's not illegal, obviously alcohol and caffeine are legal, but obviously it's categorized as a drug because it's addictive, and you can get addictive to it very easily. And I think the first thing to understand is that the risks associated with caffeine, if you've got heart related issues, it's proven to elevate your heart rate. So if you've got heart related issues, then it might be something to consider not using caffeine as a daily or regular productivity tool. But once you start understanding the science behind it, you can use it to get an edge from a productivity perspective, and predominantly from a mindset, but it's also proven to work from a physical capacity as well. So I'm no nutrition expert here. I'm just giving you my experience of using caffeine and what's worked, what hasn't worked, and my understanding of it. Now, I strongly recommend, if you're going to use this, is to take advice from a professional who kind of has the qualifications to give you recommendations, but I'm just giving you my personal experiences, so please be aware of that. So firstly, I think the important thing to understand with caffeine is you are borrowing energy from later in the day. Okay, so understand that. Borrowing energy now from later in the day. So what do we mean by that? Well, caffeine happens like it's a reverse U-shaped curve. So once you take caffeine, there's a period of time where your body's processing it, and then it starts processing and digesting it, and you get this energy boost. And you get this boost for a few hours, and then afterwards you peak, and then it'll taper off, and it'll drop, and then your energy levels will drop. And I think they say it can take up to 14 hours from intake of caffeine for it clearing your system. So, the first rule is I would strongly advise against taking caffeine too late in the day, whereby it's going to still be in your system when you start thinking about going to bed. Okay, so you kind of want to take it in the morning or kind of early afternoon, the absolute latest, to avoid the lull. It doesn't always take 14 hours, it can take a lot less, it depends on the person, but it can take up to that long to kind of get it through your process and your digestive system. So understand that. Secondly, understand the kind of safe levels that you should take. Well, they say it's safe to kind of take 200 to 400 milligrams of caffeine per day. Okay, so milligrams, what does that actually mean? Well, just to give you an indication, in a cup of coffee, you're looking at about 125 milligrams. In a mug of coffee, you're looking at about 200 milligrams. So I generally stick to 400 milligrams a day. I love coffee. I've used it. I wouldn't say I get huge benefits from it, because it affects certain people very differently to others. I find that it doesn't affect me hugely. I just like the taste and the enjoyment of it. It's probably affecting me subconsciously more than I imagine, but I understand it, and I use it within these parameters. So I never go above 400 milligrams per day, so that's 2 mugs max per day. I always generally have them, one in the morning, one at around lunchtime, and I don't have any more coffee after that. You do get caffeine in tea as well. I'm not exactly sure on the levels, but it's obviously more potent in coffee. That's what coffee is generally renowned for, is the caffeine boost. Similarly, you can use kind of energy drinks for this, but the sugar-related components of those drinks can often be a can offset any productivity boost you get. You'll get negativity from health-related issues with the consumption of ridiculous amounts of sugar in those energy drinks. So I use coffee as black coffee. I don't even use milk. I try not to drink my calories, so black coffee, peppermint tea, water is what my staple drinks would generally be, and you're not drinking your calories there. So just a little digression of content there. So when you understand the milligrams and whether you drink cups or whether you drink mugs, the also thing to consider if you're an espresso drinker, you will get that kind of higher milligram content in a more concentrated shot. So don't think you can have 2 mugs of espresso. It doesn't work that way. I'm giving you examples with your kind of traditional Americano style coffee. Espressos, you probably get the same in a mug in a very short shot. So I wouldn't have any more than maybe 1 or 2 espressos a day if that's your coffee of choice. But the other way to use it as well is in an advantageous way is to understand your energy levels. And there's a guy called Chris Bailey who's massive on productivity. He's done a lot of books, and he talks a lot about biological prime time. And so many people don't do this, but it's absolutely game changing. Like, I've studied this, and I know exactly when my energy highs are and lows are throughout the day, because it's routine based as well. It's pretty similar every day. And all you do is you track your energy levels each hour or each half an hour throughout the day. Really, really easy. Just do it for a couple of weeks. Simple alarm clock and a kind of time tracking app or some kind. Every half an hour, set your alarm. How do you feel? Do you feel high energy or low energy? And just punch it in. After you've got a couple of weeks of data, look at the data overlapping, and you'll see average periods throughout the day where you have high energy, and you'll see average periods throughout the day where you have low energy. So really, really important to kind of understand that. And the benefit I'm saying there is that when you're at low energy, that's probably the time to take, just before you get to that stage, take the caffeine. And the other thing that people don't realise with caffeine or with any kind of food or anything you put into your body, it can often take up to 20 minutes for your body to start digesting that and to see the benefit of what you've just consumed. So that's why people just eat and eat and eat and eat. It's more an addiction rather than if you eat and then stop for 20 minutes, your mind will start, your body, your stomach or your belly will start telling your mind, you know what, I'm quite satisfied now, and it will stop you. Whereas if you keep eating, your body never your stomach never catches up with your mind, or your mind never catches up with your stomach, and you eat and eat and eat, and then before you know it, you're bloated and feeling pretty rough. So understand that kind of 20-minute lag, and that's the same with caffeine. You take a cup of coffee, you think, oh, I don't feel any better, and then you take another cup of coffee. Before you know it, you're feeling sick, and your digestive system is starting to, you know, be quite volatile, flatulence, all those type of things that comes with too much caffeine intake. Whereas you need to give it that 20-minute period to kind of process into your body. So really, really important you understand that. And once you understand that, you can then marry that up with your biological prime time and see, right, you know what, I've got high energy here, don't need a caffeine boost. But the period of low, 20 minutes before that, I'm going to be taking a coffee. The other thing you can do instead of caffeine is exercise. Is a great way of boosting your productivity levels. And obviously that's why I run every morning, because I'm not a morning person. You know, I wake up, I'm groggy, I'm struggling to get started. I get out for my run, I'm back showered, bang, I'm feeling really good to go. I've kind of cheated my biological prime time by using exercise to get high energy that would normally be in a low energy period. Okay, and then the lulls throughout the afternoon and later in the day is when I would be using coffee in alignment with understanding that I don't want it affecting my sleep, but I'll take it early enough to give me a boost for those lulls that I experience later in the day. So matching that up is where you can get a real productivity boost. And just by doing these little kind of small little marginal gains, you think the compounding impact of that, you think the compounding impact of just overcoming one period of an energy lull throughout your day, every day, over the course of a week, months, years, you think how much more you'll get done, and the compounding effect of where you'll be now to where you are in the future is exponential. So understand that. So hopefully that's pretty useful today. That's pretty much all I've got to say on it today. I will touch on this more and more as I continue to kind of on my journey. But yeah, caffeine, you know, I love coffee, and I don't feel as much benefit as I know some people swear by, but subconsciously I'm sure it's benefiting me in multiple ways. But the science behind it is what I've talked about today, and hopefully it's something you can integrate into your life that's going to make a really positive difference. So just bear with me going past someone. Morning. So yeah, so that's it. So summarising it today, I would say that first thing about caffeine is understand that you are borrowing energy now from later in the day. Okay, understand that. So you kind of want to coincide it with your energy lull being when you maybe flaked in front of the TV or chilling out later in the day. That's fine, but you don't want it to kind of impede if you've got a really important meeting later in the day. Coffee or caffeine in the morning might not be a good option because your energy levels will drop and it might affect your performance later in the day. So understand that you're borrowing energy now from later in the day. Number two, in a typical Americano or black coffee, a cup of it is 125 milligrams, a mug of it is 200 milligrams, and you should have no more than 200 to 400 milligrams of caffeine per day. And number three, understand that it can take up to 14 hours to get out of your system. So you don't want to be taking coffee where it's going to be going too far into your sleep cycle later in the day before it leaves your system, because it could affect your sleep, which is absolutely what you do not want to happen. So hope that's been useful. As always, if you've got any questions on this, drop me a comment. I'll respond to every one. If it's a bigger question, I'll do a separate vlog episode and tag you in. If this isn't relevant to you, just no problem, unfollow me. You don't have to unfriend me, just unfollowing me will stop it cluttering up your social feeds. But before you do, please make sure you check out the YouTube Runpreneur channel, as I do a different episode or different topic every day of the week. So just because today's episode isn't relevant doesn't mean there could be other episodes throughout the week that are super relevant to you, so do check that out. Also check out the link in my bio where I host my free resources with the vlog, and the first one being my 70-step process for repurposing, reformatting and optimising your social media content across all platforms. So if you want to get more content out there uniquely for each platform in an efficient manner, check out that checklist. It's the exact process that I follow for my vlog every day. So that's pretty much it for me. All I have to say is the Runpreneur vlog was set up to help entrepreneurs and business owners overcome the emotions of stress, overwhelm and anxiety by using exercise, or in my case running, as a release mechanism to manage and control and thrive under these emotions that every single entrepreneur and business owner experiences, or everybody experiences in life. It's often how you process these that have a direct impact on how well you perform in life. The people who do it well maintain focus, maintain clarity, maintain control, and they move on to bigger and better things. The people that don't, it builds like pressure in a pipe. The pressure builds and builds and builds with no release, or no release mechanism. Inevitably the pipe bursts, and in that instance one of two things usually happens: the entrepreneur will break down or the business will break down, and either or can ultimately result in failure for your business or you in the future. And you know, I've got a massive passion about this stuff because I've been there. I've lost multiple businesses because of this. I've lost multiple business partners because of this, and I've almost been bankrupt because of this. And it's only really recently, the last 6 months or so, that I've kind of got this new routine in my life, and it's made monumental difference to me and my performance and where I'm going as a person and as a businessman. And you know, just to put it in perspective, I've made more progress in the last 6 months, and I've taken on more now than I've ever taken on in the past 3-4 years, which is pretty significant, to say the least. So my pledge to you is that if you are somebody struggling with this stuff, drop me a message, okay? There's no kind of catch here. I'm not selling you anything. I'll jump on a call and I'll give you some tips and advice on what you can integrate into your daily routines, weekly routines, whatever that may be, to hopefully get you back onto the right path. Because I always said that if this vlog can just save one entrepreneur, one business owner, or one business, it's been 1,000,000% worthwhile. So don't be stubborn, the help is there. Many have already taken me up on this, and I know that we've made significant strides into getting them back on the right path. So don't do it when it's too late. So that's it for me today. As always, if you like this episode, please give it a like, a comment and a subscribe. If you want to see similar content, please check out the playlist link in my YouTube channel. And all that's left to say is, as always, stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.